I'm a millennial, and I was one of the lucky ones who caught my great-grandmother while she was still alive. She made it to nearly 100, and she spent the last 60 of those years in the same house, in a microscopic little community. One of her neighbors was a woman about 40 years younger. She'd often drop by for a chat. I remember two things about her. She was stricter than my great-grandmother, and she had a thick braid all the way down to her backside. She usually kept it hidden, wound it around her head and put on a headscarf. It got in the way when she had work to do. The day I saw it, I was speechless. It was a sharp contrast to my mother, who absolutely had to look like Marilyn Monroe. But the braid was a contrast to my great-grandmother, too. She had short, gray hair. Today, thick braids are few and far between. Plenty of people fight frizz, dullness, thinning hair. And the hair that does shine is often a facade, silicone coating a strand that's actually been stripped bare. The difference isn't genetics, it's chemistry. Your hair is dead. 95% protein. The strands are literally empty shells filled with keratin. No living cells, no blood supply, no cell division, no ability to heal itself. That's not bad news, it's just chemistry. And it means no bottle in the world can repair the hair that's already there. On the outside of every strand sits the cuticle, 6 to 8 layers of overlapping keratin scales. Think roof tiles. When they lie flat, they reflect light evenly. That's shine. Not silicone, not serum, just scales lying the way they're supposed to. On the surface of the cuticle sits a molecule called 18-MEA, a fatty acid, chemically bonded to the keratin. It's the hair's natural water repellent, lubricant, and shine layer. It lets the strands glide past each other instead of tangling. SLS strips it away. Not temporarily, permanently. Once 18-MEA is gone from a strand, it doesn't come back. Silicone replaces it, coats the cuticle, smooths the scales, creates artificial shine. But it's plastic, not fat. It builds up, and it takes SLS to remove. A cycle. My great-grandmother's neighbor didn't use SLS. Her 18-MEA sat right where it belonged. Her braid wasn't a miracle. It was normal. Your scalp produces sebum, its own oil. It glides down the strand, fills the unevenness in the cuticle, creates a smooth surface. Smooth surface, even light reflection, shine. That's the whole secret. SLS strips all the sebum away. The scalp overproduces. Conditioner masks it with silicone. 3 products solving problems they created themselves. The industry calls it oily hair and dry hair, as if those were hair types. They're not. Oily hair is a scalp in panic, overproducing because SLS strips everything. Dry hair is a strand that's been stripped of the oil it was born with. Remove the cause, and both types disappear. I'll come back to hair types in more depth in the next episodes. Beef tallow has almost the same fatty acid profile as human sebum. Oleic acid, palmitic acid, stearic acid in nearly identical ratios. The body recognizes it. The strand doesn't reject it. Soap made from beef tallow cleans without stripping. The glycerin stays in the soap. The 18-MEA layer survives. And the sebum the scalp produces is allowed to do its job. Vinegar closes the cuticle afterward. The scales lie flat. Light reflects evenly. No silicone, no cycle. Just chemistry that fits together. And it isn't new. Olive soap has been used on hair for over 1,000 years. Aleppo soap from the 8th century. Castile soap from Spanish monasteries in the 11th. A vinegar rinse afterward. Same principle, same chemistry. The only thing that's new is SLS. and everything it ruined. My great-grandmother's neighbor didn't know any of this. She didn't call it anything. She just braided her hair and put on a headscarf. I hate wasting my time, especially when the subject is soap in your hair. Which is why I look after yours, too. This is a series about soap in your hair. You can step off the moment it starts to sound like too much trouble. No judging looks. I believe in conscious opt-outs just as much as conscious opt-ins. I won't sell you a dream. I'll show you the reality. But you're also welcome to skip all the way ahead and see what your new reality could look like. Most people who find Hver have already tried something else. A lot of something else. Maybe they left the bottles behind. Some found a shampoo bar, usually an SLS bar, liquid chemistry in solid form. Others tried Curly Girl and conditioner only. Some tried no poo, and they're still looking. And then they find me. They're looking for different reasons. Some want away from the chemistry. Some want away from the plastic. Some have read what SLS does to skin and to drains. Some just want one thing that works, instead of 7 things that compensate for each other. And some have done the math and realized that 7 bottles cost more than 1 bar of soap. Whichever door you came in through, the first question is the same. Can I use soap in my hair? Most people change their shampoo and conditioner more often than they buy new socks. Think about that. The socks work. They keep your feet warm. Nobody switches brands because the socks stopped working after 3 months. You find your favorite: tennis, sport, wool, and then you're set. But shampoo? It always works. At first. Then it works a little less. So you try a new one. And the new one works too. At first. It's not the shampoo's fault. It's the system. How else could there be such an endless number of brands? SLS shampoo strips all the oil from your scalp. Conditioner lays down silicone to replace what the shampoo removed. The mask repairs what the shampoo damaged. Volume shampoo coats every strand with polymers. Clarifying shampoo removes the coating. And then you start over. Every product creates the need for the next one. It's a carousel. And it's designed so you never get off. Soap isn't a new carousel. Soap is getting off. It cleans. It keeps the glycerin. It doesn't strip. And the next step? Vinegar, not conditioner. 2 steps. That's it. It sounds boring. It is boring. Just like the socks. Soap is a SCODA. It runs. It starts every morning. It does what it's supposed to. You don't lie awake worrying about it. Shampoo, conditioner, mask, serum, heat protectant, leave-in, and clarifying shampoo to remove all the rest. That's a Lamborghini. It looks fantastic. But it's an environmental disaster. It does 8 kilometers to the liter, and if you clip a curb, it costs a month's salary. And no matter what you do to a Lamborghini, it will never become a SCODA. It works the other way, too. Soap will never become a Lamborghini. It won't give you a silky smooth finish. That's silicone, not health. It won't give you 48-hour volume. That's polymers, not reality. It won't give you repaired hair. Your hair is dead keratin, and dead cells don't repair themselves, no matter what the bottle says. And that's good news, because a SCODA doesn't need a mechanic every month. It doesn't need 7 products to function. It just runs. I've seen both kinds of customers. The ones who'd like to try soap in their hair, and the ones who thrive on the carousel. That's a choice I can't make for anyone, but I can help along the way. And it starts with honesty about what the way involves. If you're reading this and thinking, I quite like my 7 bottles, the plastic mess can be the next generation's problem, and you're not yet a regular at your dermatologist's, then soap in your hair probably isn't for you. Yet. And that's completely fine. No reason to read on. Come back when you're ready. But personally, I can't be bothered to be the woman who spends 2 hours in front of the mirror to look natural. My great-grandmother didn't. Her great-grandmother didn't either. They washed with soap, rinsed with vinegar, and spent the time on something else. That's what I want to get back to. And if you want the same, then the next episode is for you. You're still here. Good. Welcome to the reset. Before you touch a bar of soap, we need to talk about what's already sitting in your hair. The most important question isn't which soap. It's what you've been using for all these years. Conditioner almost always contains silicone, most often dimethicone. It's a synthetic polymer that lays an invisible film around every strand. The film smooths and adds shine, but it's water repellent, and it builds up, layer on layer, wash after wash. Volume shampoo? It contains polymers that coat every strand to simulate thickness. The effect disappears at the next wash, but the residue doesn't. Shampoo with SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate, strips it all away, including the silicone, including the oil your scalp produces to protect itself. That's why the system works. SLS strips, silicone coats, and they sell each other. Soap can't remove silicone, it's too mild. Vinegar can't either. Silicone is a water-repellent plastic film, and it has to come off before you switch. Otherwise, the soap is fighting a wall, and you think the soap is the problem. It isn't. It's the residue from the old system. So we start with step 0, the reset. It takes one thing, a deep cleansing shampoo. Not one you'll use permanently, one you use once. Maybe twice if you've been using silicone products for many years, and then put away. What it needs to contain is a strong surfactant that can break the silicone film, and as little else as possible. No silicone, no oils, no conditioning additives. The point is to remove everything, not to add anything new. In Denmark in 2026, Matas Strieber Deep Cleansing Shampoo from the Danish drugstore chain. 14 ingredients. SLES as the primary surfactant, cocamidopropyl-betaine as the secondary. No silicone, no oils. Plus a chelator that binds the lime minerals from hard water. That's a bonus. No, I'm not getting paid to say that. I'm an independent rebel. So, wash thoroughly. No conditioner afterward. Otherwise, you lay a fresh silicone layer on top of the clean hair. Instead, rinse with diluted apple cider vinegar. 1 part vinegar, 3 to 4 parts water. It closes the cuticle and removes the last lime residue. Let it sit for half a minute, then rinse lightly. Wait 2 to 3 days. Then wash with soap and a vinegar rinse for the first time. That's step 0, the reset, the starting point. If you've made it this far and you're still with me, then the next episode is about what happens in the first 4 weeks and why it feels wrong before it feels right. You've taken step 0. The silicone is gone. Now it's soap and vinegar. And it feels wrong. That's normal. It's temporary. And there's a chemical explanation for everything you're experiencing. Most people fall into one of 3 categories. The first type thinks, my hair feels wet all day long. You've washed, rinsed, maybe even used vinegar, but the hair feels heavy, greasy, almost wet for hours. 2 things are hitting you at once. Your scalp is overproducing oil. For years, SLS stripped all the sebum from your scalp, and the oil glands turned production up to compensate. Now the soap removes less, but the glands don't know that yet. They're still running at panic speed. At the same time, soap residue reacts with the lime in your water. Soap is alkaline, and when soap molecules meet calcium in hard water, they form calcium stearate, an insoluble waxy compound. It isn't oil, it's soap scum that's settled as a film, and that's what gives the intense, wet feeling. What you do? Wash the scalp only. Let the lather run down through the lengths as you rinse. Rinse longer than you think is necessary. Use a vinegar rinse every time. The vinegar dissolves the calcium stearate. And don't wash more often than necessary. Every extra wash refreshes the panic signal to the oil glands. Time frame: 2 to 4 weeks. For most people, it starts to ease around day 10 to 14. The second type thinks, my hair won't get wet, and it's a bird's nest in the shower. The soap lathers fine at first, but the lather disappears immediately. The hair won't really get wet. It tangles, mats, and clumps together, half dry and impossible to comb through. A bird's nest. This isn't the transition period. It's silicone still sitting there. You either skipped step 0, or you have so many years of buildup that one clarifying wash wasn't enough. The silicone film is water repellent. It pushes water away and the soap can't get through. And the cuticle opens under the soap's alkaline pH, but the vinegar can't reach it behind the silicone. Open cuticle scales catch on each other. A bird's nest. What you do? Go back to step 0. Wash with deep cleansing shampoo again, twice in the same wash if necessary. No conditioner, vinegar rinse. Wait 2 to 3 days. Try soap again. If the bird's nest effect is gone, it was silicone. If it's still there, repeat the reset one more time. Years of buildup can take 2 to 4 rounds. The third type. This is the one nobody talks about. It thinks, it worked brilliantly, and then it stopped. First wash. Lift, volume, lively curls, lightness. You're thrilled. Second or third wash. Heavy, waxy, flat. You're disappointed. Fourth wash. You reach for the shampoo again. What happened? The first wash removed the loose surface gunk, silicone, polymers, styling residue. Your hair was suddenly lighter than it had been in years. It wasn't the soap that was magic. It was the absence of everything that had weighed it down. But the deeper silicone was still there. And from the second wash, the soap started reacting with the lime. The sebum overproduction kicked in, and the residue from the old system mixed with the new. And you thought it was the soap that was failing. It didn't fail. The honeymoon just ended, and the real transition began. What you do? The same as the second type. Reset with deep cleansing shampoo. Start over. This time knowing that the first washes aren't the result, they're the starting gun. All 3 types have one thing in common. It feels wrong before it feels right. It's not a fault. It's the chemistry rebalancing. 2 to 4 weeks. Some a little longer, especially if you've colored, bleached, or heat-treated for years. And in the middle of those 4 weeks, you'll think, this isn't working. That's exactly the moment the industry is counting on. But the transition period isn't innovation, it's rehabilitation. Your great-grandmother's conditioner was a spoonful of vinegar. It took the industry 50 years to replace it with a bottle of silicone. Now it takes you 4 weeks to get back. People mix things together. Not out of stupidity, out of logic. It makes sense to take a little from the old system and a little from the new. The only problem is that nature doesn't negotiate. Here are the combinations people try most often, and what actually happens. The first wrong pairing: SLS shampoo and vinegar instead of conditioner. The logic is to drop the silicone, keep the cleansing, and close the cuticle with vinegar. But the chemistry? SLS still removes everything. All the natural oils, all the sebum. The vinegar closes the cuticle, that works. But there's nothing to replace the oil SLS just stripped. Conditioner masked the problem with silicone. Vinegar doesn't. The result is a closed cuticle, but dry hair inside. And the scalp is still overproducing because the SLS signal, "We're under attack, produce more oil," keeps running. It's half the solution. Better than SLS and conditioner, but SLS is still the problem. The second, soap and a silicone conditioner. The logic is milder cleansing, but keep the soft finish. The chemistry: soap cleans gently, conditioner lays down dimethicone, and at the next wash, the soap can't remove the dimethicone. It's too weak. The silicone builds up, layer on layer. The result? After a few weeks, you're the second type from the last episode. The hair won't get wet, the soap won't lather, a bird's nest in the shower. And you think it's the soap. It's the conditioner. The third, soap and nothing. The logic is completely clean, completely simple. Just soap. But the chemistry: soap is alkaline, pH 9 to 10. Hair does best in an acidic environment, pH 4.5 to 5.5. The soap opens the cuticle. Without an acidic rinse, it doesn't close again. The result is dry, rough, tangled hair. The cuticle scales stand open, friction between the strands, breakage over time. It isn't the soap's fault. It's the missing pH correction. The vinegar rinse isn't an extra step. It's the other half. The fourth, and this is the one that works: soap and a vinegar rinse. The chemistry: soap cleans gently. The glycerin is still in the soap. The vinegar closes the cuticle, dissolves the lime residue, brings the pH into balance. The result is the combination that works. It requires a transition period. It requires step 0 first. It requires patience. But the chemistry is in balance. The fifth, natural, sulfate-free shampoo and a silicone conditioner. The logic is the best of both worlds: mild cleansing and a soft finish. But the chemistry: mild cleansing can't remove silicone. The silicone builds up, slowly, imperceptibly, until the hair is heavy and flat, and you switch products again. The result is the same trap as soap and conditioner, just slower. All the wrong pairings have one thing in common: they mix two systems that aren't compatible. The old system is designed as a cycle. SLS strips, silicone replaces. The mask repairs what SLS ruined. Volume shampoo coats. Clarifying shampoo removes the coating. Every product creates the need for the next. The new system is 2 steps. Soap cleans, vinegar balances. There's no third product because there's no need for one. You can't take one step from one system and mix it with the other. It's like pouring diesel into a gasoline engine. Both are fuel. Neither one is wrong, but they don't belong together. Soap doesn't work the same for everyone. Here are the honest answers. Not because the soap is different, but because hair is. Or rather, because of what the hair has been through over the last couple of decades. Out in the countryside in the 1800s, nobody thought about this. But today, the options are endless, and so are the consequences. And what you've done to your hair over the last several years decides what soap can do for you now. This isn't a verdict, it's chemistry. Let's start with gray hair. You've left the race, or never joined it. You've accepted your natural color. It's a conscious choice, and it's brave in a world that sells anti-gray for 249 kroner. But gray hair is structurally different. The cuticle is thinner and more open. The oil glands slow down with age, less natural oil. The porosity is higher. It collects lime, minerals, and soap residue faster. So the challenges are dryness, yellowing from hard water, and tangling. What it needs? The vinegar rinse isn't optional. It's mandatory, every time. Without an acidic rinse, gray hair turns dry, tangled, and yellowish. Wash less often. Gray hair doesn't need it as often, and give the transition period a little more time. Can you use soap? Yes, but vinegar is your best friend. Then there's bleach. Here you pay a permanent price. Bleach breaks the sulfur bonds in keratin. They don't come back. The cuticle never fully closes. Every strand is riddled with holes. Where the pigment used to sit, there are now empty gaps. It's permanent. No mask, no treatment, no Olaplex can rebuild a broken sulfur bond. They can make a weaker substitute. It's like gluing a broken bone instead of healing it. And your hair turns yellow, not because it's dirty, but because the last pigments the bleach didn't reach are yellow, and because porous hair soaks up minerals from the water. That's why you need purple shampoo, sulfate-free shampoo, a silicone conditioner, and regular salon touch-ups. It's a carousel. But it's the only carousel that works for bleached hair, because the structure is permanently changed. Soap is alkaline. It lifts a cuticle that's already standing half open. Vinegar can close it, but it can't repair what bleach destroyed. It's like closing a door that's come off its hinges. Can you use soap? Yes, but it'll ask more of you. A vinegar rinse every time, maybe an acidic leave-in for the ends. And honesty, that soap can't repair what bleach destroyed. It can clean gently, it can avoid making things worse, but it can't make it good again. The easiest answer is, let the bleached hair grow out and start with soap on the new growth. But I can't forbid you from experimenting. God knows I do. A lot. Then there's chemical color. The rainbow has a price. Permanent hair color works by opening the cuticle with ammonia and planting large dye molecules inside the cortex. The molecules are too large to escape again, in theory. In practice, anything that opens the cuticle lets the color out. SLS shampoo does it. Soap does it because it's alkaline. Hot water does it. The sun does it. It's not unique to soap, but soap's pH 9 to 10 does it faster. The darker and more intense the color, the more molecules are stuck, the longer it lasts. Pastels and light shades have fewer molecules. They fade first. So the challenges are faster fading, uneven color, and the same carousel as bleach, just with color on top. Can you use soap? Only if you're ready to stop coloring. Let the natural hair grow out. Cut off the colored part along the way. Switch to soap when the natural hair is there. Or stay on the carousel. That's a choice, not a mistake. It's just a conscious choice now. And then there's henna. Here's the good news. Henna is the one hair color that plays clean with soap. You'd think nature had an internal agreement. It's had one for 5,000 years. Henna is older than soap. Lawson bonded to keratin long before anyone figured out how to mix fat with lye. And it still does, without ammonia, without peroxide, without opening a single cuticle scale. It's the one hair color that strengthens the hair instead of weakening it. Lawson, the active dye, bonds permanently to the keratin, not inside the cortex, but directly onto the protein behind the cuticle. Soap can't loosen it. Vinegar can't loosen it. Nothing can. On the contrary, the vinegar's acidic pH gives extra shine to henna-colored hair because it closes the cuticle tight over a color that's locked in. And henna isn't only red. Cassia obovata, neutral henna, gives no color, only strength and shine. Indigo gives dark. Blends give brown. They all bond to keratin. They all play well with soap. One exception. If your henna contains metallic salts or synthetic additives, it isn't pure henna. Check the ingredient list. It should say Lawsonia inermis, possibly indigo. If it says anything else, it's chemical color in disguise. Can you use soap? Yes, the color stays. Just carry on once you've been through the reset. If you're using SLS shampoo now, there's silicone and buildup in your hair. That has to come off first. Henna doesn't change that. We'll go deeper into henna in another episode. You're through. You've reset. You've survived the first 4 weeks. You've avoided the wrong pairings. You've figured out what works for your hair and what doesn't. And now you wash with soap and rinse with vinegar. 2 steps. That's it. It might feel like an achievement, and it is, in 2026. But for the rest of human history, it was just Tuesday. Everyone knew it. The Navajo, the Hopi, and the Apache, North American tribes, washed with yucca root. The plant contains saponins, nature's own surfactants. They lather, they clean, they don't strip. No transition period, no carousel. The long black hair we see in films isn't a director's creative preference. They genuinely had enviable hair. Japanese women in the Heian period had hair down to the floor. They rinsed with rice water, starch that smoothed the cuticle. No silicone. No serum for 349 kroner. Yao women in China still exist to this day. They wash with fermented rice water. Not just rice water, but fermented. They have shiny, strong hair with few gray strands well into old age. You might think, genes. But genes won't save you from your daily choices. Not in the long run. In West Africa, women used shea butter to protect their curly hair, because they knew that sebum doesn't travel down the curves on its own. No conditioner, just fat and understanding. In Europe, people washed with soapwort. In the Middle East, with olive soap. In India, with shikakai and retha. Everyone figured it out. Different plants, different fats, different cultures. But the same principle. Clean gently, add fat. Let the scalp do its job. Your great-grandmother washed with soap made from real fat, rinsed with vinegar, brushed 100 strokes in the evening. Her transition period was 0 days, because there was nothing to switch from. SLS was introduced in the 1930s, liquid soap in 1980, silicone conditioner in the 1950s. The whole system you've just spent 4 weeks unlearning is younger than your great-grandmother or grandmother. It's not soap that's the alternative. It's SLS. What's different now? You wash less often. Not because you decide to, but because the hair doesn't get greasy as fast. The scalp produces what it needs, no more. You can spend your time on something else. You use 2 things, not 7 bottles. You can spend your money on something other than Olaplex. Your hair feels different. Not silky smooth. That was silicone, and it's gone. But alive. With the texture your hair actually has, not the one that was laid on top. Now you actually have healthy, naturally shiny hair. Not a made-up corpse, pun intended. The hair is dead after all. And the hair that grows out now starts in a scalp that isn't stripped, isn't overproducing, and isn't wrapped in plastic. Now your genes can actually unfold in their full expression. You don't get to decide over the dead. You decide over the new. Give it peace. Give it time. Your great-grandmother knew it. Navajo women knew it. Japanese women knew it. They just didn't call it anything. It's not rocket science. It's the opposite. It's the simplest thing in the world that we forgot for 90 years.